All right.
It's in the back of the room. What the hell is it?
All right. I don't want us to delay anymore. So we do actually have some pretty serious announcements to get into. I would like to get the most
Be quiet, guys.
important
Angel's
one out of the
talking,
way.
please.
So,
Angel, hold on, Angel. Can we get a couple people to search around Mission Roll, make sure we got no people listening first?
Sure. Can you guys go through the hallways and double check everything? Make sure there's no one hiding. Check the corners. There could be people slumping. Check the windows.
Rally up, cadets.
Check your corners.
Grab
Check your
tasers
pants.
out. Get ready. Yeah. Could someone find Dan and bring him in here?
Yeah, he just got a phone call on the phone.
Mr. Q out front that was asking for SCU. Not sure who to pass that on to. Oh. Yeah, we can trust that guy. He looks pretty trustworthy. He's extremely trustworthy. He's our tech consultant.
I definitely don't
Find
trust
anything,
him.
guys?
Can you help me get rid of all these
Clear.
weird pop-ups?
For now.
No.
Animated
Okay.
things.
All right. Cool. Well, while we wait for Dan to come back, oh, he's here actually. Okay, so this is a pretty important announcement. I'd ask that you guys be respectful during this because it is very serious. If you have jokes, just keep them to yourself and tell them to each other in the hallway. Just try not to do it here in the meeting. Okay. Dan, Nova, if you could please come up and take the stand.
Yeah, hello everyone. Today, prior to the tsunami, there was a vault robbery in which it was members of Hydra. It was a standard vault robbery where Flippy and other members of his group robbed the vault and recklessly evaded in a white G-Wagon. The G-Wagon obviously drove around the city, nothing new there, and dropped individuals off at the Red Garage. From the Red Garage, a vehicle was seen leaving. I attempted to pursue it, but unfortunately a local took me out and I lost eyes on that vehicle, but units maintained eyes on Flippy driving the white G-Wagon. The white G-Wagon then drove into the hills where people lay in ambush for officers and shots were exchanged and multiple individuals were down. One of those individuals was Deputy John Doe, who has unfortunately passed away from his injuries.
What? Wait, what?
Our boy Doe is dead.
Obviously, obviously there's a lot more context to this that Dan will go over. I want to say thank you to everybody who was assisting in the investigation. Everyone listened and did what we asked to do. The case is already looking pretty solid and there will be further action being taken. I know everyone is upset. Me, myself, I have a lot to thank John for. I think there's one thing that we can all agree about John Doe, is that when he set his mind to something, and when he did something, he did it to the T. He was very by the book. His paperwork was probably, I would argue, the best in the city. I don't think there's anyone who can argue that fact, and a lot of people in this room look to John at times for guidance, so I would really appreciate everyone's help in making sure we get these convictions and we do justice for John. That's what we're going to call it. Justice for John. I'm going to hand it over now to Dan, and Dan will explain further and go into the more nitty-gritty of it. But thanks all for listening, and yeah.
What's going on, brother?
It will be myself, Dan, Odessa, and Connor. Stubble.
Whispering.
You're whispering.
Okay. Sorry, LSPD officers, if any of those individuals that Nova listed asked you for anything, you drop whatever the fuck you are doing and you help them.
I don't have very much to add. The people that are working on this case are top notch, and if you were either in the chase, shot at the bank, or shot your gun at somebody, you have 24 hours to put a report in the reports channel.
I want the reports in there by the end of this meeting. There's no excuse. There is
we
absolutely
go.
no.
There you go. Do not touch the main report. If you have pictures, put them in the reports channel, or just put them in the report. But don't touch the main report. Just put your report in the channel. If you have any other information, just come up to myself, Nova, any of the people leading it. We'll get it handled. I just want to
John Souls,
everybody who
yeah.
helped. We didn't have much time. We only had like an hour and a half to kind of compile things before tsunami wiped it away. So everybody who collected evidence, thank you, troopers. You escorted his body from the hospital to the morgue, and you held it down. That was incredible to watch, and I truly appreciate you guys as well. So yeah, if you are new, or if you want to get an idea of who John was, literally go just type his name and look at his reports, and you'll get an amazing idea of what kind of officer he was, and what we should all try to do as far as our reports. So, all right, thank you guys.
I do have
I
one
have
thing
a question
to add.
real quick. Hold on. Since we have so many officers here, can we do like a send off for him?
Well, I do
Yeah,
actually
sounds
have
good.
a message from him.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a message
Oh.
left on his phone for everybody.
We also need to do his final call.
Yeah.
Final call, we'll reserve that for whenever PBSO command and high command put together a funeral. That's typically when we do final calls.
Winston, before you do that, just because this isn't as serious. If you have that evidence bag that has been missing, please, everyone who was on that scene, check your pockets, check your cars, check everything. If you have this evidence bag, I need it. Okay, if you have any evidence from that scene and you didn't get it to me, I need it, please. By the end of the meeting, I'll be going in the lab afterwards. So look for that evidence bag. If you do have it, please. Thank you.
Before we proceed, can I?
If you're fucking hiding in this bag, I'm coming for your badge.
Okay.
I'm not
before
even
before we
kidding.
proceed, can I say something on part of the Department of Justice?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Before you come up there, if you have this bag, Canola's coming for your badge. I'm coming for your face. I'm gonna cut it off.
What bag?
We've heard some words about John and the work he's done for the UPD and the work he was capable of. But I just want to say, as the representative of the Department of Justice here, John held it down. John did more work in the city than I think anybody is aware of. He single-handedly has upheld the FOIA system, the Freedom of Information Act, the way people request information from the UPD for the Department of Justice for lawsuits, almost single-handedly for over a year. That man put in work that none of you understand the level of. It is insane. He may have just been a cadet, but he was before that the head prosecutor for the Special Prosecution Unit. He was one of the best and the brightest that you had. Trust me on this. That man deserves more credit than he ever got while he was alive. So now that he's gone, he better get some, because he deserves every ounce of it. That's all I've got to say.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just on that last bit, clarification. Sheriff Kyle Pred did promote John Doe to full deputy after his passing. So the final message we got from Deputy John Doe that was left behind, I'll read it out. Friends, if you're reading this, then something must have happened to me. It was bound to happen one way or another, but I still have this last chance to say something to all of you. Members of the UPD were some of my first friends I've made in the city when I was still in the DA's office. That connection became even stronger later when I became a dispatcher, and of course, I eventually joined the UPD myself. And at some point, I realized that the UPD was actually my family. I've learned so much from all of you, with each experience making it better. I love you all, and I wish you the best. Goodbye. Anybody else would have anything they'd like to add about Deputy Donjo? Give the floor to you.
From now on, let's hold a minute of silence for Jundo. And then we can proceed with whatever we need to. Starting now. All right. Minute of silence has concluded.
All right.
Just,
So,
just
oh,
one
go ahead.
one last thing. If everyone who is involved in the people I mentioned can just stay behind after the meet, so we can cross the I's and dot the T's, or whatever way around. Don't mention any more of this because we can invite Justice Seren back. So as long as we don't talk about it anymore, that's fine. Sorry, Angel. I'll go get Seren back.
So basically, just to finish this up, we'll be organizing a more proper viewing and a funeral, and likely a parade or something to that extent later. But for now, if you didn't get a chance to say goodbye to him, it's okay. There'll be a chance in the future.